a new age where dreams of young hearts shall see the light of the
From
day.
seas to hills we claim our chance to pave the way. Unified hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow's this days, leading the change our world needs to see. The change we our chance to pave the way. Unified hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow's this days, leading the change our world needs to see. The change we shall be. Oh, 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 oh,
Hello, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're currently located. Welcome to Unify, United International Federation of Youth, where we let our actions flow for tomorrow. I'm so excited to finally have you all on board and meet you virtually. This session is live streamed in our Facebook and YouTube channels. So feel free to call your friends, phone your friends, share the link, call everybody to join in this impactful journey that we're about to start. Today, I will be the moderator. My name is Titilayo Adebayo, and I am from Nigeria. I am the regional focal point for Sub-Saharan Africa. Before we proceed, kindly put in your first name and country in the chat so we can get to know each other. I'd like to know you and familiarize yourself with each other's names and country and officially welcome you as you join the unified team. Oh, hello everyone. I can see Abdul. Abdul, great to meet you. Where are you from? Can I see your name, please? Your country, please. Okay, I can see. Okay, Steve-O from Cameroon. Oh, that's great. I can see Jemima from the UK. Wow, I can see Vanessa from Cameroon. It's so great to see you all. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I can see Abdul Kadri from Nigeria. Oh, my boss is here, everyone. He's from the Philippines. I can see him and he's based in Switzerland. So please help me to get a lot of points this evening. Oh, good to see you all. Good to see you. Oh, that's great. I'm so glad to have you all on board. In today's session, we'll be having with me our colleague Susmitha. She's going to be the presenter. She will introduce us to what Unify is all about, and she will also shed more light on where and how we can play our part in this impactful journey. But before we start, I like to we are all youth, and I like us to start in a youthful way. So you're gonna be seeing an expression right now. I don't know if you can see it. It says, which expression matches your mood right now? As for me, my expression is 9. So you go to the chat and put 9 if that's your expression, or 1 or 2 or 3. I'm choosing 9 because I'm so excited, but at the same time, this is live stream, guys. I am super nervous. And not only that, I have my boss in the house. So if you don't hear from me after this, I practically maybe got fired. But God forbid, right? All right, guys. I can see. Oh, some people are picking 8. Good to see 8. 6. I can see 6. I can see 5. I can see 8. Oh, a lot of people are excited. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. So amazing. That is actually amazing. Thank you guys for at least helping me lower my anxiety and pressure here. Okay. Now to move on, our next question is gonna be on the Mentimeter. So you can see the Mentimeter. My colleague will be dropping the link in the chat. So our member will share the link in the chat. So right now, I want you to tell me, when you hear the word youth, what comes to mind? What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word youth? For example, if I hear the word youth, the first thing that comes to mind is energy, or let me say party, because we like to party, right? So energy, that's the first thing that comes to mind. So using the Mentimeter, my colleague actually posted the link in the chat. You can just go there, you can use the Mentimeter and write. I want to see you writing. I want to see what you guys feel. Oh, somebody's saying the future. Yeah, we are the future. And currently we are the present because we hold the answers to the future. And that's great. Oh, young people, when you hear youth, yeah, young people. Young people who have energy, who have time on their side. Yeah, will have little or no responsibilities, as in regards other engagement that comes with being grown and being an adult or being elderly. Oh, we are brave. Wow, I love that. Youth. Another word is brave. Another one is energetic person. Yeah, please keep. I want this to be an interactive section. So if you want me to go ahead and let the presenter come in, you have to say something. If you're not typing, I'm gonna stay here for the next 2 hours, and we don't want that. Oh, I can see some people typing in the group chat. Says young, vibrant people. Oh, that's great. Oh, great. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That was actually inspiring. It's good to meet you all, and it's good. I can see all the responses, and I'm glad that it's very, very interactive. So with this, I would like to introduce you to the next colleague of mine, who I said is the presenter in person of Susmita, and who she's going to help you and shed more light on what we do in Unify and how you can come up on board and how we can all come together, work together, and let our actions flow for tomorrow. Over to you, Susmita.
Thank you so much, Titi. It is so good to be presenting alongside you. I think it was our first onboarding session that you were moderating and I was presenting. And hello, good evening, everybody from Nepal. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you've had a good new year this year, and I hope this new year is gonna be very fruitful for all of us. And to move ahead, I will be your presenter for today, and I will be giving you more details on what Unify is. I will be introducing the team, what is Unify, core objectives of Unify, what is YDPA, and what are the communication channels, roles and responsibilities, and what's next for you as members. And finally, we will end with a session of question and answers. So you can drop your questions in the chat, and our colleagues here will be taking notes of that, and we will answer all of your queries. So I would like to start the introduction to the team. So we have here Giancarlo Guillermo, who is the Youth Engagement Officer at Water and Climate Coalition and WMO itself. WMO is the World Meteorological Organization, and he is also leading Unify. So here you have me. I'm also the regional youth focal point for Central and South Asia, and alongside me is Antoinette Bantelis from Philippines, who is the regional youth focal point for East and Southeast Asia. Me and Antoinette, we both also are currently the interim global focal points for Unify. And next we have in the team here with us are, so here we have Peshang Hamakarim from Iraq and Malik Romdani from Tunisia. Both of my colleagues here are the regional youth focal points for Northern Africa and Western Asia. And here we have Zainab Zahid from Pakistan, who is my co-regional youth focal point for Central and South Asia. Then we have Brian Kekembo from Uganda, and our beautiful moderator for today, Titilayo Adibayo from Nigeria, who are the regional youth focal point for Sub-Saharan Africa. Then we have Zihan Zuan from China, who is co-regional focal point for East and Southeast Asia alongside Antoinette. Next in line, we have our colleagues from who are representing regional youth, who are the regional youth focal point for Latin America and the Caribbean. We have Maria Mercedes Curie from Argentina and Ernesto Ojeda Canto from Mexico. Then we have we have Kazaya Gerosano from United States, who is the finance and partnerships lead. And also here we have Davila Talema Malaya from Fiji, who is the regional youth focal point for Oceania. And we have Jay Gasper from Philippines, who is the communications coordinator at Unify. And To all our members, all the beautiful posts that you see on our social medias, the emails, beautiful emails that you see, that you receive, it's all designed by our admin assistant and graphic designer assistant Prakash Lama from Nepal and Paulo de la Torre from Philippines. So this is the team, this is the Unify Secretariat right now. And moving forward on what Unify is, how was Unify initiated? So in the race of the SDGs, so World Meteorological Organization and UN agencies, along with other um, UN agencies and UN Water, they figured out that SDG 6, which is clean water and sanitation, and SDG 13, which is climate action, were lagging behind. So all these UN agencies came together and to accelerate the water climate action agenda, they formed the Water and Climate Coalition. So in order to fulfill the youth component of Water and Climate Coalition, Unify was initiated. Can we move on to the next slide, please? So, is Unify? So, Unify stands for United International Federation of Youth for Water and Climate. Unify is an initiative, or let's say one branding, one initiative with two components. The first is the movement. So, you being the members of Unify, you're all part of the movement. And let me say this again, Unify is not an organization, but it's a platform. It's a platform for all youths who are willing to contribute to water and climate issues at their local level, at the regional level, or at a global level. And then we have the festival. So the festival is the conference that will be held under the branding of Unify. So this is what Unify is, the movement and the festival. So moving forward, okay, here we have the joint endorsement from WMO, the Secretary General of WMO, and the United Nations Office of the Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. So this is a joint endorsement acknowledging Unify, both the movement and the festival. And moving forward, Unify is also recognized by the Major Group for Children and Youth as the official youth constituency to the Water and Climate Coalition that enables Unify to be part of all the UN processes and its activities. And moving forward, here we have Unify was presented during the briefing on the UN 2023 Water Conference preparations back in April 2022, which enables Unify to be the official youth consolidating platform to the UN 2023 Water Conference. And here we have, so we Unify has had a long journey during 2022, where we were also present at Dushanbe water process, and the Dushanbe water process final declaration also reiterates Unify's input into the water and climate youth development plan and agenda, which will feed as the official youth input to the conference. So moving forward again, we have, okay, here are the core objectives. So Unify has its own 5 core objectives, among which the first is inclusive networking platform for SDG 6 and SDG 13 advocates, which I also mentioned as the movement, the global impact monitoring system for all the activities that will happen around the world for or under SDG 6 and 13, and proper representation of the youth sector or during different UN activities, or let's say stakeholder gatherings, and youth participation and involvement in the coalition's processes, and a youth constituency that forges partnerships to UN agencies, government, and private stakeholders. Because we, as youth, we are always demanding to be inclusive, to have to be included in all these processes and all the platforms. So this is one of the core objectives of Unify. And moving forward, Next we have, okay, I will be passing on the floor back to Titilayo.
Thank you so much, Susmita, for that beautiful presentation. That was short, sharp, and straight to the point. I hope you guys are listening, and I hope that is actually as easy for you to read as it is for me. Actually, she's been introducing all the team members and what Unify is all about. But I am not here for the boring stuff. I am here for the fun part. So, guys, right now, I want to see how many of you were actually listening and paying attention. So, I'm going to be asking the next question now. If you see on the Mentimeter, it says, "What does Unify stand for?" So I see a lot of people were typing and sending comments and asking some questions as we were going on. But then I want to see how many people were actually listening. What does Unify stand for? What is the full meaning of Unify? Please type it in the chat. Go to the Mentimeter and use the Mentimeter in case you cannot access the Mentimeter, maybe because you're using your phone or because of internet. You can also type in the chat. But I want to see answers. If I don't see answers, we are not moving forward, and I can stay here all day, even if it gets me fired. What does Unify stand for? What is the full meaning of Unify? I said that at the beginning of this. Oh God, I wish this was live. I'll be cashing out right now. I'll be taking money from you guys. Like anybody that gets the answer wrong, you pay me. So I'm still waiting. United International Federation of Youth. Somebody said water and climate. Somebody said the voice of youth in water. Somebody said United International Federation of Youth. Okay, keep it coming. Let's see how many people get it. Oh, I wish I was actually, this was live right now. If it's in person, I'm making money. Really? United Nations International Forum for Youth. All right. I wouldn't want to keep us all waiting because I know time is money and money is time. So, few people got the right answer. Few people did not get the right answer. The full meaning and the correct meaning of unify is United International Federation of Youth. Pa, 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 pa. Kudos to everybody who got it. Thank you, guys. That means a lot of you were actually paying attention. And also to go forward, I'm going to be handing over back to Susmita. So, Susmita, you have the floor.
Oh my God, Titi, you're really expensive. You're gonna charge them for every wrong answer.
Yeah.
Okay, let's proceed with our slides again. Okay, so here we have Youth in Water and Climate Coalition, the pillars. So we have the typical pillars of engagement in Unify, where you as members can contribute depending on your skills, your knowledge, your capacity. So here we have 6 pillars of engagement. The first one being water and climate education, global mobility, capacity development, governance, active engagement, and resource mobilization. So once you are on board as members, we will be having meetings, and once you have your national focal points onboarded as well, so you can start engaging in one of these pillars, and we will be giving you directions on how you can feed into these pillars and engage yourself and contribute to this journey of ours altogether. So so next we have here the Unify Global, the organizational bubble. How is Unify structured? So you can see the Unify, the global movement that includes institutions, organization, individuals, all the members. So this is our global bubble, let's say. And then we have the national focal points and we have global focal points. Both the national focal points and global focal points will be, there will be 2 national focal points for each country. And we have the Water and Climate Coalition Secretariat, and we have regional focal points, and also the global operation team. So just to give you a little bit of a hint on what the global operations team is, it is the team that will be operationalizing on the pillars that I showed earlier. So moving on to our next slide. All right, here we have the global focal point. So this is more detailed information on how our focal point structure is based, or how it is structured. So we have Unify will operate with two focal points at each level. That means the global level, regional, national, and at the convention as well. So we will have two global focal points, which for now we are me and as I mentioned, Ancient Bantalis are the interim global focal points for 2020 to 2023, and we have the regional focal points that is currently the Unified Secretariat. So we have two regional focal points for each region, and we have national focal points. So we had our first elections, and we also, it was just yesterday when we onboarded our new national focal points. So right now we have 30 national focal points for 17 countries. So just in case if some of you had your countries were eligible but you could not have a national focal points because of ties or because of insufficient votes, we will be sending out the election forms, the nominations form, most probably by tomorrow. So you can obviously nominate your countries. And also, one of the key points on why you being a member, the criteria to elect either yourself or someone for national focal points is there should at least be minimum of 25 members for your country. And if you receive the nomination forms, that means your country is eligible. We will soon also publish the list of countries that do not have a national focal points yet. So let's move on back to our content for today. And so here we have the Unified Convention. So the convention will be engaging with the high level stakeholders, facilitate international gatherings, and propose adoption of relevant and inclusive changes at global level. And also the convention will be electing the two global focal points uh, every time. So then we have the global operations team, which will be composed of 14 regional focal points who will be leading and co-leading one of each pillars of engagement based on their skills and expertise. And all the members will also have an opportunity to get engaged in the global operations team and pick their pillars of engagement. Then we have the Unified Secretariat, which will be in charge of a coordination, facilitation, and liaising with UN entities, as well as the Coalition Secretariat. So, moving forward, after the structure of focal points, we have here the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda. So I'm sure that most of you must have also filled out the survey for the Water and Climate Youth Development Plan and Agenda, which we also call as the YDPA. And as I mentioned earlier, that the YDPA is also the official input to the UN 2023 Water Conference. So to give you more information on how how we came up with the YDPA is, so we had the demographics, obviously. So we had expert consultations, interviews. We had a lot of literature reviews and a revision of a lot of water and climate related documents. And then we came up with the gaps and challenges that there are that youths face at their local level, or let's say at their national level, or even at global level. So we put all of the gaps and challenges in the form of a survey where youths can fill it out and then give their ideas or opinions on the issues relevant to their locality, or let's say their perceptions. And after analyzing these gaps and challenges and analyzing the survey results, our policy team came up with 5 dimensions, so 5 problem dimensions. And to come up first, once we have a problems, we would obviously need solutions to this problem. So to have these solutions, so we have been having a series of validation processes and validation workshops. We had 2 virtual validation workshops and almost 6 in-person validation workshops that also included that also happened in Dushanbe. It happened during Koi, during COP, during One Young World. And out of all these validation workshops, youths from all the corners of the world came up with different policies, projects, programs, and activities. So, with propositions of the PPPAs or of how we frame it, and so all these PPPAs will feed into as the solutions into the YDPA, and we will be forwarding this through UN 2023 Water Conference to different stakeholders for adaptation as the commitments. And we also have our monitoring and evaluation mechanism in place to ensure that the water and climate youth development planning agenda is actually implemented. The voices of youths are actually implemented by governments or UN agencies or different stakeholders, private and public stakeholders, and at national levels as well. So this is what YDPA is. And moving forward here, we have, okay, unify in numbers. So we have 4,500 plus registered members and all. If you have not registered as a member yet, please go to unify.org, or my colleagues will be sharing here the links in the chat, so you can register yourself right away, and then ask your friends to register as well. And once we have minimum of 25 members from your country, you will be eligible to elect yourself or someone as the national focal point. And we have 4,500 plus respondents from 171 countries for the YDPA as well. And also, we have 30 national focal points from 17 countries. And moving forward here, okay, so we have our timeline from 2022 to 2023. So in February, as I mentioned earlier, in the YDPA we started contact mapping and data gathering. In April we started the data synthesis for the YDPA. In June, we started lobbying to public and private stakeholders, and we were also present at the Dushanbe water process. In November, we were at COI 17 and COP 27. We had our very last validation workshop for the YDPA during COP 27. And in March 2023, we will be presenting the official output of Unify, the YTPA, to the UN 2023 Water Conference. And all right, so here we have the salient features or the internal rules and code of conduct for you as members. So Unify is a safe workspace. We firmly believe in the safety of our members once you join us. And I hope when you signed up for your membership, you should have seen a button at the very end of the form, which would lead you to the internal rules and code of conduct. And I hope that all of you have read it. So we have termination policies as well. We have anti-harassment policies. So because we believe that all workspace or every working place should be free of harassment of any sort, either it be physical, it be emotional, or it be psychological. So then we have intellectual property rights. So once you're a member, whatever you do in Unify, you can own it, but also there are some intellectual property rights that you cannot, as a member, you cannot misuse the logo or the credentials or the anything that you receive as a member. And then we also have attendance policy. So once you're a member and you're onboarded and you start working, so we will be keeping check on your task, and we will be keeping check on your attendance as well. So these are some of the salient features that were put here from our internal rules and code of conduct. Okay, so moving forward, here we have the meetings and procedures, how our meetings are, organize. So here are a few tips on the meeting symbols that you can use during meetings to have your agreement or disagreement. Minus for disagreement, hat or d hat for direct answers, and as such. So meeting schedules would be done through lettuce made. Schedule announcement would be made in the general channel in Slack. Minutes of meetings would be given to you. You will have access to it in the general channel. So these are a few meeting procedures and the tools, or let's say the cues for the meetings. And our communication channels, so we will be our communication official communication channels would be Slack and email. um, our members will be receiving emails on all the general or global updates. Then we will have Trello for task monitoring, and for immediate updating, we will have WhatsApp community as well. And moving forward, okay, so what's next for you as members once you are onboarded in Unify? Okay, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, so next, okay, here we have it. So the next, what's next for you is you will be receiving NFP elections. We will be having our second national focal point elections. So if you are not registered yet, please go and register yourself as a member. And if your country is eligible, that means if your country has minimum of 25 members, then you will be receiving the nomination forms for the national focal points. And then we will go into election processes. The second is global operations team onboarding, which is pillar specific, as I've mentioned earlier. And we will also be opening volunteer positions so you can get enrolled and more engaged in Unify and our activities. So next we have here is our calendar for engagements. Okay, calendar for membership activities. So we will be having monthly membership updates every first Friday of every month, bi-weekly meetings between different teams, and monthly meeting between secretariat and regional youth focal points, monthly meetings between regional focal points and national focal points. And also please stay updated on our social media channels and on your emails, because we will soon have a town hall meeting with all of our global members, with the national focal points and the unified secretariat, and we will be giving you more information on this very soon. So I think we're almost at the end of our presentation, and we will have our floor open for question and answers now. So yeah, Titilayo, are you there? So we
Yeah, I'm here.
all
I'm
right,
always
you're
there,
here.
standing by. Oh, thank you so much, Susmita. That was nice. Guys, did you have fun? I can see you guys are so interactive. You really want to know more. You want to do more. And I'm so glad you want to be part of this impactful and exciting journey. And I can see a lot of questions here. Most of the questions were about NFP and RFP in Central. Okay, for example, we have, will you also call from NFP and RFP in Central Asia? We have another one from um, a lot of the questions actually are about NFP and RFP, which Susmita has answered. But in case want to share, you want more light on it, we'll be able to share. But the one that actually caught my eye that is actually different from questions about NFP and RFP is the one from, I don't know if I get your name right, Basso. You say, what is the policy to promote youth French speakers and indigenous voices in Unify? And that's one question that I would, if Susmita will allow me, start to answer, and then Susmita can finish.
Yeah,
One of
sure,
the
sure.
beauty of Unify is that we own what we do. We don't claim to have all the answers. And that's why we want members to come up with fresh ideas. And we are actually focused on region-based, region-specific solutions. So, for example, we don't want to say, oh, okay, because in UK they need electric cars. Then we say, okay, so in Africa or in the global south we need electric cars. We need youth to come up with region-specific solutions, and that is the beauty of Unify, and that is the beauty of you. and me in this movement, because I am from Nigeria. I know how it is to be in Nigeria. I know the situation in Nigeria. I know the challenges. So I can come to Unify and say, "Oh, Unify, I hear you're doing a great job. These are the problems in Nigeria. What do you think? These are the solutions I think can work." You understand? And because you have national focal points, you have national coordinators, you can go to your coordinators, you can brainstorm with other members, come up with ideas that are mind blowing. And I believe that one of the reasons the leaders are really not paying us attention is that the youth complain. Yes, we know the problem, but we seldomly bring solutions to the board. So, like your question is saying, oh, how do we promote indigenous youth speakers? I don't speak French. So I may not even know how to answer that question, because back home we speak English. So language is not a barrier. But you coming up with this kind of question shows that you're ready to, you have the problems and you know how to come about solutions. So one of the beauty of Unify is, although we are big, we think globally, but we act locally. Over to you, Susmita, if you want to shed more light on that.
Exactly, I completely agree with you, Titi. So I think this is how we designed the YDPA. So it will include the voices of youth, not just at global level at all, but also at the local level. It can come up with solutions to the problems, existing problems at all tiers of our system, the local level, the regional level, the global level, and youths giving their inputs for the on the solutions on how we can solve national issues. Because me being in Nepal, I don't know what are your problems in Nigeria, or how or in UK that you're currently based in, because my solutions and my problems may not be relevant to you. So yeah,
Exactly.
so that's how we can come up with as I mentioned earlier, Unify is a platform. It's not an organization. It's a platform. It's a movement where youths are, where we have this platform, and youths, all the youths are invited to join us in this movement and come up with problems and solutions. We will help you to pave your way towards the solution. Isn't that what Unify is for, Titi?
Yeah, thank you so much, Susmita. Another question, an exacting question actually for me, is how can I be a candidate for election? This is coming from Dawood Khan. He's saying, how can he be a candidate for election? So I'll leave Susmita to answer that.
Okay. Is it, Titi, is it that you're pushing all the difficult questions to me?
Oh, this is not difficult, but I don't
Oh,
want to spoil
oh,
it for
oh,
you.
Titi, or is it that you know that you cannot ask for money out of this question?
Yeah, he wants to be. If he wants to be a candidate, can you just pay me and I'll tell you how? But you can get the
Oh my
advice for
goodness.
free from Susmita.
But this is a volunteer space, and we've mentioned our salient features, Titi. So
So you
yeah,
do it for free.
yeah. So how can you be a national focal point? As I mentioned earlier, you should have minimum of 25 members from your country, so that you will be eligible to vote. So you can spread the word, even if you cannot meet, or even if your country cannot qualify. This in this election, you can get prepare your country, your the youths in your country as members, and you can go for the elections in our upcoming election. Maybe that will be by the end of this month, or most probably by the beginning of the next month. So get at least 25 members onboarded, or sign up for membership, and then your country will be eligible for elections. We will send out the nomination forms, nominate yourself, and we will go into elections.
Thank you,
So
Susmita.
yeah.
Like Susmita rightly said, eligibility of each country determines whether you have a national focal point or not. And recently, some countries actually were eligible to for national focal point, and they've done their elections. And the mail, as in we've sent emails to them congratulating them, and they are ready to take. So some of the countries right now currently have national focal point. But should your country not have national focal points, once you sign up as a member, we're going to send you an updated list of countries that are not eligible yet, or that are now eligible for new elections, and you can nominate yourself. It's as free, it's as simple as that. You can nominate a friend and you can nominate yourself. And then when you nominate yourself, the members in that country would vote We want it to be as fair and equal as possible.
Mhm.
So we don't interfere. The members in that country, we vote for their national focal point. So it's up to you how you relate with your members in the country to vote for you. But that is how it is. And then somebody's asking if the national focal point, Asia will also have national focal point. Yes, it's not going to be a national focal point for Central Asia because Central Asia is big. It's not just one country. But each countries in Central Asia would have
I think Titi, I
point. Hello? Oh, really? Can you hear
yeah.
me?
Did
Okay.
I lose my? Yes. Was it your connection or mine?
I think it's yours, Susmita.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Okay. So,
This is the problem. Yeah.
so like I said, feel free to nominate yourself if your country is eligible for elections. But once you sign up for membership, we will keep you updated. We'll send you emails. We'll send you everything. Yes, like Sadia Rahman is asking, can we share the list of countries that are not eligible right now so that they can work towards us? That's a great idea,
Yeah.
Sadia. Thank you so much. So we're going to be sending that. We're going to be sending it to you once you sign up as a member. You'll be part of our mailing list. You get every information, day-to-day information about Unify. But the most important thing I am so excited about is, please follow us on all social media platform. I cannot stress this more because this is where you get the juicy news. This is where you know what is happening. This is where you can pick and share. As a member, you should be proud of the brand you represent. And Unify is not about me. It's not about you. It's about every one of us. So this is the beauty of diversity and inclusivity. So I want you to take this and hone it. Once you see any social media post, please share, send to your friends, tell them about Unify, tell them about this great movement we're doing together and how we can change the world, how we, with our voices, with our actions, can come up with solutions that can better our nations first and then the global world at large. We'll be recruiting focal points soon. So after this call, we'll be sending all our new recruited members. And if you're interested, if your country, like I said, does not have focal point yet, you can nominate yourself. All you need to do is fill out our survey attached in the email. And also, please, due to time, we cannot take more questions than this. So you can send us any further questions. You can send it to our email at info@unify.org. My colleague will put that in the chat in case you miss it. That is
Yeah.
info@unify.org. It was nice meeting you all. I am so,
Yeah.
so excited and pumped up for the next phase of Unify. It's so good to see you all. And I believe that together we can let our actions flow for tomorrow. That is a wrap up for me. Susmita, do you have any goodbyes for that?
I think just to for our members, adding up to all the questions that we have for the national focal points, please remember, members. So the first thing is you should have minimum of 25 members signed up for to elect a national focal point. And the second point is there should be, when we go into elections, there should be at least 51% of the 25 members voting for the candidates. If the votes are below 51%, that is minimum is 13 votes, we will go into re-elections in the upcoming election. So please have that in mind. With that, I think it's time we say that let our actions flow for tomorrow, and we will see you soon in our next onboarding call. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us in this evening, and please memorize what Unify stands for, or next time Titilayo is gonna charge you for sure. So with that, thank you everybody for joining us, and once again, happy new year, have a great evening, and
Happy
see you
New Year to
soon.
you guys, and let this year be the year we've all dreamed of. Thank you so much,
Thank you
guys.
so
It
much.
was nice meeting you. And thank you, Susmita. Thank you for all the team that worked together to put this together. Thank you so much. Let our actions flow
For
for tomorrow.
tomorrow. Thank you
Bye,
so much. Bye
everyone.
bye.
So UNIFY stands for the United International Federation of Youth for Water and Grants. So basically, we are a platform that unites all young voices around water, and we are working really hard to bring all these voices to the UN 2023 Water Conference next year.
To pave the way. Unified hand in hand, we sing an anthem of hope, an anthem of peace. Our voice tomorrow sustains, leading the change our world needs to see.